What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the weekly challenge. This is a very funny hand that we're starting out with, and it's because it's a 10 count. And this is something we covered in, I believe, last week's challenge. When we're in a best hand tournament and get dealt exactly 10 points, it means that everyone around the table has a 10 count. So this is just a fun place to jump off, and it shows you just the true randomness of bridge hands. So first things first. Just tell me in a real world sense what you would do, or tell yourself that as you're watching this. And I would tell you that no matter what situation I found myself in, best hand tournament or not, real world bridge or not, I would always open this one spade because we find ourselves in the third position. Right? It's gone two passes to us. It is now our turn to bid. So we are absolutely supposed to be aggressive in this chair. And I will tell you, it is especially important to be aggressive in this chair when you have spades, because you get to actually start out at the highest preemptive level at the one level. Right? When you open one spade, you restrict their bidding more with that bid than any other opening bid other than one no trump, obviously. Right? But you're not going to be opening that super light in third chair, right? That's the one exception here. But here, one spade is an absolutely perfect opening bid for this hand. And that's what we would want to do in third chair. And especially in the robot tournament, we expect it to go Drury or one no trump probably, because we know partner has exactly 10 points. I mean, I guess partner could do anything really. They could bet a minor suit or whatever. But here, you're usually going to hear Drury and you're going to try to shut it down. So we'll open one spade. And there it is. There's one no trump. We love passing this. We have a nice source of tricks in our hand. And now they balance with two hearts. And here's the deal that we have to recognize. If we had passed this hand, we should know it's going to be passed out, right? Because lefty has 10 points also. So we have to understand that we could have locked in a score of 0, basically, meaning not a 0 match point wise, because we're playing imps anyway this week. But we're locking in a score of +0 or -0. So we want to go plus if we bid. So here our question is, do we expect them to make two hearts? Well, I mean, especially if they if they have short spades, we expect them to make a lot of tricks and hearts probably. Partner didn't double; they could have doubled for penalty, but again, with a 10 count, would they? I mean, maybe if they had a clear cut choice. So we're kind of guessing, but with this good a spade suit, I'm unwilling to let them play two hearts, especially in this best hand format. So here, all I want to do is bid two spades and hope I can go plus. But of course, partner is just gonna make a call here. So I mean, I hope they have a lot of clubs. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see. All right, so partner could definitely and should definitely be passing two spades, right? We passed the no trump and then we actually balanced with two spades. In the balancing chair, they have 10 small of spades. They should be very confident that we have an okay hand, but they choose to actually proceed to the 3 level, which is kind of weird for us. But we'll do the best we can. We're going to win the ace of spades. And take a second and plan your play before I start executing this. And I'm going to give it a couple seconds live, but if you need more time, just click pause and you can join us whenever you're ready. All right. So one thing we just want to recognize is that the lead is coming from this hand, right? In these robot tournaments or robot challenges, when someone declares or when the robot's supposed to declare, they bring you over to that side of the table right there. So just recognize the lead came this way if you get ever weirded out about this format. But here, I mean, I don't know. You could try to avoid a heart loser on this, I suppose, if you played the king of spades and the queen of spades. But now you risk getting one of those spades roughed when you're likely not going to see the third spade survive. Let's put it that way. But it could just be ditching a loser on a card that really isn't going to help us outside of this scenario anyway, right? Pitching a diamond doesn't look like it's going to help the north hand, right? It looks like that can just be good because we have this number. So here, this is worth a shot. And boom. All right. Now we might even be able to make this worth another shot. If we play a spade, we could pitch another heart if they rough relatively low, or we could just play a spade. And yeah, okay. So if they pitch, we'll just pitch a heart. And then one problem is they shorten themselves in diamonds, but this is a nice lead for us. When they return, this is what we want to have happen. We want to start drawing trump. So now they will lead a heart. Boom, boom. I mean, this is probably not the best play. Yeah. So, okay. Clubs did not break entirely, but it looks like we are probably going to survive. This player just has diamonds behind us. All right. I misspoke. Club's totally broke. I thought I was losing a trick at the end there, to be honest. I'm like, what the heck is going on there? That's what happens when you're not paying attention, folks. But here, the auction is very important only because of the situation we find ourselves in. And here's what I'm talking about. Let me make sure you guys can see the entire auction. Here that we opened one spade knowing we had only 10 points, but also because it's a best hand tournament, we know every player has exactly 10, and you can just do the quick math around the table, right? No one can have a better hand, obviously, and there's 40 points in the deck, so it's 10 points for everybody. So when it went 2 hearts on our left, we have to take a look, and look at that. Yeah, it looks like they had a pretty easy way to make 2 hearts. Worst case, losing 2 clubs and 3 spades, it looks like. I guess I don't see anything there that would avoid 8 tricks, but I'm not really looking that closely at it. But the key thing is, if they rate to go plus at that point, right? We can't let them go plus. We have to go plus. And if we're going to go minus, we're just going to get a bad score, right? Even in imps here. So here we're just trying to gain a little bit. And honestly, plus 130, I would just say we're gaining imps on this one, right? Especially if we're just playing plus 130, opposite 0, we'll gain all the imps we get for that, right? So here, 10 points in our hand. When we open it, we're just trying to go plus, and we want to try every possible way to do that. And also just pay attention and don't miscount those trump suits. I forgot that they roughed the spade, right? And then trumps work evenly after that. So good play, us. Let's get back to the main event here. And okay, not too shabby of a hand here. We have a void in diamonds, a nice 7-card heart suit. Not going to get too excited. We're going to open a heart. 1 spade. Obviously, they bid 2 diamonds over there. So this is a weird spot. And in a real game, you would expect North to bid again, but it's kind of an interesting choice as to what we would do. I think the most practical choice is just to bid 4 hearts for the most part. If I had a better spade position, 3 no trump might be interesting. But again, this is just, we want to try to get to a spot where we can make it, and this is the bid that's usually going to quiet the robot up as fast as possible, right? We don't necessarily think we have a huge amount of possibilities for slam. And also, we should recognize in competitive auctions during this, 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 diamonds is just denying a heart fit at that point, right? So we don't expect to have a massive heart fit. And here, our left-hand opponent makes a nice lead of the king of hearts, which means, well, think about what that means. Take a second and look at how we're going to play this hand. All right. First thing, just remember the auction. They overcalled 1 spade, and then we just found our way to 4 hearts. And also just plan some of this play. It's a fun hand. Yeah, this is a singleton, it looks like, right? The robot is weird with this, right? They like to lead their singleton honors. Let me just tell you this. You almost never lead singleton kings or queens, because what is declarer going to do when they're missing those cards? What are they almost always going to do, especially when they're missing the king? They're going to finesse for them, right? And when they're finessing towards you, it's a good thing. So sitting behind the person that opened and rebid 4 hearts, the king of hearts is just never on my radar ever. And it shouldn't be on yours either, right? So just food for thought there. Don't lead singleton honors because you're going to get those tricks way more often than you think. But here, if this is true and that is singleton, it just means that our right-hand opponent started with 4 of them to the jack. It doesn't look like we'll be able to take a huge amount of advantage of that, but what we do want to recognize is we are likely going to have an opportunity to get some pitches on this hand. And what I mean by that is when we recognize that our left-hand opponent is the one that overcalled spades, We might be thinking, how the heck am I going to get to dummy? Well, we kind of know because the king of spades is in a great position behind the ace. We hope, right? You wouldn't think left-hand opponent just has the jack of spades for their overcall, and the king of hearts and king of clubs would be the rest of their hand. Seems pretty unlikely. So here, you expect things to be going well for you in that respect. So here you might see what they do with a spade and decide what to pitch next, and decide also what to do in the club suit. But first things first, we're going to just see what happens here. And we could draw another round of trump here. In fact, we could draw all the trump, but what we want to avoid letting East in and allowing the clubs to be broken, right? So we want to at least have a chance to pitch both of our clubs away, because that's the finesse, by the way, just looking at the auction, that is going to be losing most often, right, when left-hand opponent is shown some values, right? So here, we might think, hey, let's take this finesse, but no, we want to be taking care of those cards with these over here. I mean, there's no way we're going to be able to shorten this hand enough, this south player's hand enough, to take advantage of the knowledge that the jack of hearts is on side here. So here we're just going to play the queen of hearts. They're going to pitch a diamond. And at this point, before I let them in and let them break clubs, I am going to lead a spade to the king and get rid of our club. And this was the dream scenario, right? We want them to hop up with the ace, and now they just break clubs for us. Okay, great. All right, so this is a fun point. Now that we're winning this with the 7, now we can draw trump. Now that we've avoided them setting up a club trick before we got rid of the ace of spades, now it's super safe to just come in here, draw a 1 round, we get back in, always ace of clubs. We're not taking that finesse. That's why we played it this way. 9 of hearts, drawing last round. Don't forget that one. Don't miscount trump 2 hands in a row, Rob. All right. And then here, spade to the king, and hand is over, right? Ace of diamonds, we pitch away our only other loser. You can just, this would be taunting, I think, in the NFL if you play king of diamonds and pitch away a winner for them. It would just be like, hey, just claim, buddy. Just claim. All right, so here, not too bad, right? 4 hearts making 5. And let's just take a quick look at our second deal that we just finished. The 1 spade overcall is pretty normal, right? East is just sitting there with a hand they want to fall asleep with. It's funny, after 2 diamonds, I'm interested to see what the robot did with the south player's hand. These are usually the ways you handle auctions like this, though, when you have a kind of a strongish hand with a good 7-card suit. Not necessarily obviously we would prefer it if it went 1 heart past 2 diamonds, because then we can just slowly show our heart suit. After the 2 diamond bid by North, especially the robot North, I'm always hesitant to just slow walk anything. So even 3 hearts, I'm worried about them just misconstruing in any sort of disastrous way. So I try to do the best. Without the 10 and the 9 of hearts, it's a little different. The suit's not as good with that spot. All right, guys. So that is day 1 of the weekly challenge. It's the 3rd challenge. Once again, the scoring this week, imps, right? So we're just worried about those games. Board number 1, we didn't really miss any game, right? And board number 2, we played a nice vulnerable game. So that can't be too bad for us to start. And we will see where we keep going on boards 3 and 4 tomorrow. And here's what we're starting with tomorrow, guys. This is board 3. You're the dealer. Let's see where this one ends up. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of the Weekly Challenge. Until then, have some fun at those tables, guys. Take care.